Hey guys, Dice Rollin' here with a long overdue book versus movie review. This review of the book Falling Angel versus the movie that was based off of it called Angel Heart was requested by Ty L. Burney. So thank you, Ty, for the review request. So without further ado, this is my book versus movie review of Falling Angel versus Angel Heart. Now the book and the movie are a little out of my usual genre, but they still manage to keep a foot in the horror side of things since they could be described as horror/supernatural noirs. The book itself was written by William Hjortsberg, and the movie was directed by Alan Parker in 1987. The movie stars a pre-plastic surgery Mickey Rourke as the main character, private investigator Harry Angel. It's kind of ironic since we learn in the book that Harry had to have surgery to repair his face after being hit by shrapnel. I'm really not sure what Mr. Rourke's excuse was. Something that I do like that's a subtle hint to a part that's mentioned in the book is how Rourke will occasionally fuss with his nose. That's because Harry mentions his nose is fake and that he had spent too long in the sun one day which deformed it a bit. In the beginning of the book and the movie, we see Harry get a phone call from Winesap, who works for Louis Cypher. However, unlike in the book, we actually get to see Mr. Winesap. Shortly after that, we also get to meet Louis Cypher himself, played by Robert De Niro. Now, for anyone who may not be quick enough to catch on, I'm going to give you a hint about Mr. Cypher's character. There are other important characters that were introduced to throughout the book and the movie, like Margaret Krusemark, who, in the book, we're led to believe is a witch and living in Paris while her twin is still living in New York. But Harry finds out that there never was a twin and the woman he met was indeed Margaret herself, not her twin. However, in the movie, all of that is cut out. She was Johnny's fiancée at one point and helped him with some dark practices. On a side note, Margaret's appearance is different in the movie than in the book. They did get her death right, though. Something else that's important to note is that Johnny Favorite is the person of interest in the book and the movie. Another character is Epiphany Proudfoot, who is a lovely young woman that Harry comes to realize is important to his finding of Johnny Favorite. But of course, there are some glaring differences between book Epiphany and movie Epiphany. First off, Epiphany was the daughter of the woman who owned the herb shop Harry went to. Second, in the book she never had a child. And third, I believe the book mentioned her having Cuban heritage, when in the movie she doesn't seem to. There's also Mr. Krusemark, who is the father of Margaret Krusemark. He's rather different in the book than in the movie. For starters, it's made very clear in the book that he could whoop anyone's ass. He works out and looks like a captain of a ship. Compare that to what we get in the movie, and yeah. Now let's talk about the plot itself and how the movie handled it in comparison to its source material. There were scenes from the book that didn't make the cut that I really feel should have. But to be fair, I suppose you really can't include the satanic baby sacrificing orgy in the movie. Boobs and animal slaughter are fine, but that's just crossing the line. There are certain areas in the plot of the movie that seem to fall flat in comparison to the book. Like, Harry never went to Louisiana. Actually, he never left New York. Which means that all the other characters he met in person were in New York too. Certain death scenes were the same as they are in the book though. But here's where I have to nitpick just a little bit. Like I said before, I realize that there are certain sensitive subjects that you can't include in a movie. A good example of this would be the pianist Toot Sweet's death. And if you've read the book or seen the movie, you know why. With that being said, Mr. Krusemark didn't die from being drowned/boiled to death in gumbo. In the book, Harry catches him after the Satan Worshippers Anonymous meeting and interrogates him. This results in a fist fight where Mr. Krusemark is electrocuted/run over by a subway train. The twist at the end in the book and the movie are done pretty much the same way. And that's a very good thing, since everything that happened culminates into this one horrifying realization by Harry. And without spoiling too much for anyone who hasn't but wants to read or watch this story, Harry finds out that the man he was looking for all along was a lot closer than he thought. Both the book and the movie are pretty heavy in religious symbolism, but it works. In this particular case, it puts the fear of Satan into the viewer. Naturally, the movie has to cut certain things out and add other things in order to make it work. Overall, I have to say things tie together as well in the movie as they do in the book, if you're willing to overlook a few things. The characters themselves hold pretty true to the book characters and are believable. I feel like the movie was a bit rushed though, but since you can only fit so much into about 2 hours worth of screen time, it did a pretty decent job. But the real question is, which was better? the book or the movie? In the grand scheme of the plot and its characters, I have to say that the book did a better job of grabbing your attention and twisting your ideas of what would happen around. The movie was interesting to watch and was certainly a fun little trip on its own. I just feel like you would be able to understand the whole idea of it better in the book. There are certain clues and hints for the reader to pick up on, so it doesn't feel like the ending is thrown at you as much as it kind of does in the movie. So I would recommend that if you like mysteries with macabre and voodoo mixed in, read the book, then watch the movie. And that was my book versus movie review of Falling Angel vs. Angel Heart. Thank you again, Ty, for requesting it. I enjoyed reading the book and watching the movie. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like to let me know. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. If you've read this book or seen the movie, what did you think of it? Do you have a book and its movie adaptation that you would like me to review? Also, don't forget to share this video to help the channel grow and subscribe for more videos like this. See you later. Remember, kids, the lesson for today is don't sell your soul
to the devil.
On the bright side, some portraits are destroyed and the mom goes to investigate. Bad move number 1, she does this.
Who is that?
And then proceeds to go into the basement where she tries to reprimand the spirit who promptly slams her ass down the stairs. The reasons for a warning. And of course, the one light bulb blows up, which leaves her completely in the dark. But luckily, the father decided to ignore the matches he had previously set on the stairs. Unfortunately, all of